Hey folks, you may have seen a while back that YouTube announced it was experimenting with
Welcome
making
to today's
dislike
video.
counts private to only the creator of the video. Now, if you're like me, you were surprised by that. I mean, I've always thought seeing the number of dislikes on a video helps us know as viewers if it's a good video or not, if it's a helpful tutorial or not, or if what a creator is saying in their video is generally agreed with or not. But unfortunately, research teams at YouTube have found there's this whole other use for disliking a video that I had never experienced as a creator, and you may not have either.
This will come as a shock to a
Apparently,
lot of people.
groups of viewers are targeting a video's dislike button to drive up the count, turning it into something like a game with a visible...
Now, I don't really need to go into major detail about this. This person's name is Liaison. You can find them Twitter as well if you look them up. Matt Koval, YouTube, Lice, and I don't even know how to say it. The importance that this had as a dislike button is to let people know that people are actually either hurting themselves, and that's okay to like dislike stuff or like say comments to other people, but I guess like going out there and being someone like an avocado and eating too many avocados will eventually make you morbidly avocado-ish, and there's people out there that go out and offend people. I don't really want to say what that is because YouTube will be like, oh my god, we can't say those words. Yet they're meant to be out there. Like, you should know that someone is an offender. If people are going out there offending children, that's something that needs to stop. What we do as a community in YouTube is we stick together, but the tribalistic behavior, I would say, is the other side of that creates a toxic environment for many people on YouTube and the creators. Now, when someone goes out there and makes a video, and maybe they said something and their intention wasn't necessarily, it wasn't meant to be wrong, and you go out there and then you destroy what they do, then that seems as like a problem. When we see people and watch them destroy their life, and then they make it seem like it's the right thing to do, and we dislike their video, that is, I would say personally, and to many other people, and I don't want to make it like if you say something to me about it, if you feel otherwise, it would be an attack. These people need to know that there's something going on in their life and it needs to be fixed. We need to get the right type of mentality out there, or the right sources and the right people to go out there and let people know that something else is going on that's in the bigger picture. Sure, we can self-indulge and one day we'll look like an avocado, or we can go out there and we can treat ourselves properly. We can go out there and not make videos about how we offend children and have a whole community of younger men growing up, and they're already in that mind stage where they just want to like stick their thing in everything. And same with some of the girls too. They go out there and they want that guy that's like 10 years older, and it's gross. We're creating a sick community for younger people. We have to let them grow and learn on their own, and that's like part of their life. Like, we're not in puberty anymore after like the age of, what is it, like 14 or something. Now we've like developed ourselves, and then we continue growing until we're about the age of like 21 in the brain till like 25 or so. It just depends on how you see it and who you are in the scientific world. Although that's why we have age limits for meeting people and such. And I do believe that for the time period that there is, with the people making all of these videos, that we should just want to keep in mind that our tribalistic behaviors can have an impact on other people. Following people blindly is an issue. Going out there and attacking people, decimating their lives, still does have an impact, and it makes them feel bad. And I do understand that leaving hateful comments is also bad as well. In the back end, where there's people actually committing crimes and such, and if it looks like, acts like, and smells like it probably is like, then it most likely is. And we have to make sure that we are doing the right thing for the YouTube community. I've been on YouTube for like 10 years. I don't want to make myself seem any better than anyone else. I've probably done a few things that were stupid and like-minded of others. Now we grow up and we see the age, and I feel like this will be a new social push to help people and prevent them, and overall enact the way that we have our tribalistic behaviors that actually adds a systemic oppression upon our own communities itself when we're going out there and hurting others. YouTube is a community, but the individual behind that is an individual as well, and that doesn't mean that YouTube owns them. Like, YouTube is turning into what I would say is unionization with what they're doing, and they're protecting people that may otherwise not need to be protecting. Like, for an example, if you have a coworker that swears, calls you racist words, and treats you like garbage, or even for an example, just like spits on the ground in front of you, and they're doing it on purpose, and you know that they're doing it in a negative intent, and you go up and, for an example, to just be a little bit more clear, you want to ask them and figure out where you stand with that person by saying, do we have a problem? And obviously you do. You already know that, but you got to do the right thing and make sure that there isn't a problem. And then they're going to say something. They'll either avoid the conversation. They might be scared. You got to ask them again, and then make sure, because that's socially how we are. Even if we did something wrong or not, we'll feel like that as people sometimes, and it's sad. And I just want everyone to know to take care of themselves and to make sure they do the right thing that they feel morally to have a better community around them, including YouTube itself. This is important that we make a proper decision when we complete an action with stuff. I'm really not the person to go out on political stuff. This is just, I guess, what really would refer to what I do with my content, and showing people that you can have an open mind about everything. Yes, tribalistic behaviors can make sense in certain situations where something would seem off. You want it to be controlled, and you want to make sure that it abides by certain rules to maintain the general aspect or the vitality of that community itself, which will make sure that people will always have food, for an example. They'll always have shelter. They'll have anything that they need that is extra as a necessity as well to maintain a healthy lifestyle. Although maintaining a healthy lifestyle does include vitality, it seems that corporations and businesses sometimes go backwards with it, and they think that it's right, and it's really backwards thinking. If you look up and you ask if you ask Google if a union is social, it says no. Like, it says no. I looked it up. Maybe it's different wherever you're from. It'll say something else, but likewise, we need to make changes, and I would just say stick to your belief system. Don't always try to fight and attack people. Just make sure that you are standing up for yourself in the right way that is moral and correct. And people can say that and then do something like assault someone and think that it's right. And people have their own ideas. Stick with the right people that you feel, and always go out there and make decisions for yourself. We're separating ourselves, and it's just awful to really see.